Hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. What day are we? We are, I have to look on here to remember. I think we are day like 12, 13. I can't remember. And I just put the number in. I can't remember. It's been one big blur. But anyway, I want to open up the. No, not that. I want to open up the animal dealer so we can drive straight through instead of having to back out. So I'm going to change. Let's go this way. So I'm going to get rid of this I'm going to move this concrete barrier. We're going to create a driveway coming straight through. And we're going to have to move that fence. So I'm sure this fence is going to be more of a pain than anything. So let's see what we can do to get an opening here. So it's not going to be too bad. This fence, now, so this one, I'm going to need an end. So let's find an end. If I even have one. Chain link fence, probably not. We're going to have to go get an end. Let me just flip through the fences, see if I have a chain link fence end over here. Chain link fence, no chain link fence end. That's easy fix though. So let's go to you're the animal dealer. Let's close you a second. Let's go to the BGA. I know the BGA has a fence post I need. Fence end element. Duplicate that. So now we come back up to the animal dealer. We'll throw it in here. We'll go edit. And we'll throw it over here. And now we'll get it in place. Actually, I'm going to pull that fence out a little bit further, so let me get it lined up. And then we'll get it adjusted. So let's just pull this fence out a little bit further. So this guy, we're going to go like 1.03, no. There we go. And that will pull that fence out a little bit longer. Give me 1 second. My phone is acting all kind of weird. Now I can get back to alright, now I can get back to chat. Alright. And then this one we're going to slide down and make a little bit shorter. Like so. Yep, like so. And now we can, so what are we on? Are we on square or are we on round? We are on square. So let's go to grass. So let's, yeah, not that much. So let's pull out the grass from here. And then we will continue with concrete. Just to here for now. We'll see where we're going to go with it. Now I want to come down and around, so we'll leave a little bit of grass. So let's take this out a little bit so we can have room to make a turn, and then we'll come down. Try to erase some of this grass as we go. Chef, good morning. Just wanted to make a back entrance out of the animal dealer. It's been on my to-do list for a while, and I figure today's a good day before I get started on a new project. I'm going to come in here and just get this done. And off my to-do list. Probably doesn't need to be this wide. It's probably just a little bit too wide, but that's all right. Start off with something simple to warm up to the big projects. Oh, okay, too much. So now we come in here and we'll curve around this way. Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. There's no opening there. The opening is further down. All right, let's back that off. All right, now let's come down a little bit further and try that again. So I want to be between those two buildings. Now we could take it in. Something like that. I've got a couple of major projects planned today. I don't know how far we're going to get, but we got a couple major projects on the drawing board for today. All right, so that's going to bring us out around the animal dealer and then back out this way. So now it looks naked. Hold on. Now we got to get a couple extra trees in here. So let's grab one of these. And we'll slide you back. You're going to be too big, aren't you? Yeah, we'll just split the difference. And we'll turn you so you're not sticking out on the road. I can live with that. I'll just put one big tree in the middle. And then we'll grab a couple smaller. There we go. So let's throw like one of these here. And there, that looks better. So now we have our drive-through, so we can come in, pick up our animals, come in here, pick up our animals, and then just drive straight out through and around. And I went too wide on the grass. Let me just throw a little bit more grass back in here. All right, how does that look? All right, I'm going to call this little tiny project done. Now let's get to the big stuff. Let me head over here. We're going to make a big old mess this morning. And it's probably going to take twice as long to do what I want to do, but that's all right. this little corner between the road going up the mountain and the canal is crying. It's crying to me. It wants a waterfall. So this is probably going to end up being a bigger project than I wanted, but that's all right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to gain a ton of space. We're going to flatten this mountain out. And it is going to gain us a ton of extra space on the top. And I may do this all the way around. This mountain ended up being a lot, when I was creating these mountains, it ended up being a lot bigger than I wanted. But that's all right because it's an easy fix. And you're going to see how much extra space we're going to gain just by bringing this mountain back out. And I'm almost positive I'm going to take the time and do this all the way around. Or as we need more, as we work through the map, we'll take this out and gain more space. I got to be careful over here on the road so I don't mess the road up. So we're going to do that part separate. But we're going to push this way out. So let me work this way for a second. We're going to push this out till it flattens out. And this is, like I said, just doing this a little bit gives us a ton of real estate on the top to work with. So let's take you back. And then we'll come back and we'll work on the edges here in a second. Now, over here where this road comes up, I've got to be really careful. So it'll mess my mountain coming up the road up. Just take you, peel you back very carefully. Alright, now we go, let me turn my strength down some. Now we very carefully, we will give this a quick smooth and blend it in. And we're going to put part of it back just to, so we have a little bit of a ridge, but after I get a waterfall in here. And then this edge, smooth back down. And that just gained us a ton of extra space. So now we're going to go, let's go to, back to our grass, and then let's push this back. And again, I'm going to not go all the way to the edge, because we're going to put a little bit of a ridge back in. And then let me just flatten, smooth that part out, because there's a little bit of a hump there. Oh, come on, paint. did this in a couple other spots on the map, and it worked out well, 'cause it opens up a lot more real estate. Not that we need it on the 16x map, but it opens up a lot more real estate. Alright, this is just rough for now. We'll come back in and detail it. And let me just finish smoothing it out. Alright. So that is step one. It's giving us something to work on. Now I'm going to come, let me get a little bit of speed. So I'm going to come over here. I want to take a peek at this waterfall. I don't know if I can duplicate it or not, because I haven't messed with this waterfall since I built the original Ritchieville VAV version 1. Ooh, it is one transform group. That's going to make it a little bit easier. That'll make it a little bit easier, but not a lot. So let's go. I am going to duplicate that. Let's call it Waterfall 2. Why do I have, oh, hang on, I gotta take, I've got an extra piece of water in there I want to get rid of. Alright, so Waterfall 2, let's see what you look like. Oh, looks like I got another extra piece of water. So let me get rid of that other extra piece I don't need. That one. There we go. Now let's turn you, let's bring you back this way and see if we can make you work. We'll have some adjusting to do, but we'll see if we can make this work. If we have to break this apart and go component by component, I can do that, but this will give us the major, some of the major parts and pieces to work with. Trying to see exactly how I want it. I think I want it closer. Now we want it like sort of over here a little bit more. Something like, we have a lot of terrain editing to do. So you're my top. Something about here. Now let me turn this so it's a little bit more square for me to work with, like that. Farm Chick, good morning. Yeah, I'm over here making a complete mess of the mountain. Alright, so the top was 206. Let's go to 205 for now. And then let's see if we can get, go up on my strength. Let's knock this back. Why are you not coming down? Alright, let's go down to, where were we, 205. Let's go to 200. We can always bring it back up. Oh, here we go. So let's get our top layer done first. Yeah, this area was crying to me last night for another waterfall, so thought I'd come in and throw another one in. They are a pain in the butt to build, though. Alright, so my next layer down should be about 180. Let's go down to 180, and then we'll throw oh, wrong way, hold on. Yeah, so no, a little bit taller, so let's go 182. Nope, got to come way up. 185. We're getting there. So 187. A little bit more. Let's go to 190. Yeah, we're getting close. 189. There we go. So let's get this area just level for now, and then we can hold on. Let's go. Top is 206. Next layer down was 188. If I don't write these down, I'm not going to remember, because we're going to be changing numbers like for the next half an hour. So now what we do is we build this up a little bit in here. And then we come on this side and we do the same thing. Down on my strength a little bit. All right, and then we take just the, oh, we're too far, hang on. Let me take this piece of water, I'm going to stretch it out a little bit bigger. There we go. And now I'm just going to take this up a little bit more. All right, now let's go down to like 185. Take this down. All right. Next layer. Oh, it's a little bit too. Add a little bit more in there. All right. Now, next layer. Come back here. All right. So next layer, we were at 180. Let's go down to like 178. 178 is going to be too tall, so let's go to 175. 170. $68. Still a little too much. So let's go down to 60. There we go. So now we get this level in. A little bit too far. All right, let's try that again. So come back. There we go. And then we'll peel it back here in a minute. So this just gets us set up for our sides. So now we're going to blend this in. This side. We'll blend it in on this side. And we'll keep working our way down. And then we'll work on the top. Top will be another. Alright, so that gets us, alright, hold on. This is not quite right here. Let's bring this corner up a little bit. Knock this down a little bit. Alright. That's a little bit better there. Let me get a little bit more in here. Alright, so that should be this level. So now let's go down to 160. And a little bit too far, but I've got to fix for that. This wall's not quite big enough, so hold on. So what we're going to do is this guy, I'm going to duplicate him. I'm going to slide him over, give it a slight turn, and we're going to make this a little bit wider. All the way over. Now I come back over here. And then let's take this back a little bit more. Oh, now my water plane's not big enough. Well, that's an easy fix. So now let's take our water plane. And this one's going to be a little bit tough to work with. Let's get our water plane. Something like that. Alright, so that's going to be that level. And we got a little bit more work to do on the sides. Blend both sides in a little bit once we come all the way out. Actually, let me just work on this side now before we come down any further. All right. Now let's come down. So let's go to 145. A little bit more, so let's go like to 148. No, 150. Yeah, 150 is going to get me a little bit closer. And we're going to have to make that water plane bigger. So let's do this. Let's grab this guy, slide him over some, and then we'll come over here, tilt him back a little bit, and then this water plane. I think we're going to take this water plane. I'm going to take this water plane. I'm going to delete it. We're going to take this water plane. We're going to drop it down to this level. And then we'll make it a little bit longer, but not too much. A little bit higher. Right about there. I don't want to go too much wider than the previous one, so let's slide this one over a little bit. Right about there. So now we start filling in a little bit more. That side. Then we'll fill in. A little bit more on this side. And then let me just get a little bit of mountain texture in here for now, and we'll two-tone it later, but I want to get rid of this grass look, so I have the mountain rock base to work off of. So we're going to have to bring this all the way out and around, somewhere around here. And let me go to subtract a minute. I want to get rid of this grass. Alright, so let's go back to replace. And let's figure out our next layer, and then we'll blend these sides in a little bit better. And actually this is a little bit too tall, so let's knock you back a little bit. And oh, before we go down to my next layer, where were we? So we were at 150. Let's go to 145. Actually, this previous layer, let me do a little bit of smoothing here. Alright, so let's take this down. Like so. For now, we're going to have to get, we're actually going to take this, we're going to turn it. Delete that one a minute. Let's work with this one. So let's bring you over this way a little bit. And we'll bring you back a little bit. And then let's take our water plane. Now let's turn it. Something like that. And bring it down just a hair. Right about there. No, they're still too high. So let's bring you down. Alright, that'll work. So now we were at, where were we? So let's go to like 135. Too tall. So let's go down to 130. No, still a little too tall. So let's go down to 128. Oh, that's going to be right about perfect. So let's get that in. Okay, we'll come back and fix the edges. I'm not worried about it. Just want to get our height about where I want it. Alright, so we're going to have to blend you all the way back into the mountain now. On both sides. Alright, so now let's smooth this out. Let's bring this back. Come over to this side. And we're going to put some back in because we took too much away, but that's fine. So now we can blend it back in. hope everyone's having a great start to their weekend. Alright, so let me just grab a little bit of mountain texture. We'll get the dark color in here in a minute. But that just gets my green out of the way. And we'll have to come in here and play with like this water plane is just a hair. And then let's get a little bit of a hump there. Alright, now we'll come over here. So let's get, let me fix this side first. So let's get just a little bit more in here. Get this side fixed. On that layer looks pretty decent. Now let's come down here. So where were we? We were at 128. Let's go to like 122. Let's open up this layer. Smooth that side out. Let's smooth this. Let's fill in a little bit here that we're missing. Alright, so let's blend this side in so it's a little bit nicer. This side look. Let's bring this up just a hair. Alright, so that's that layer. Now we are at, what's my ground level right here? So now let's go in here. So we're 105. So let's bring this back, clean this edge up. And it gets us close. I don't want to take too much away from that side. So hold on, let me fix this. That back just a hair. Alright, so that works. Now let's go to, so we're at, let's go to 100. And I'm gonna, might have to put another water plane in. That's not going to take us down to the water plane. I think the water plane is pretty low. So let's go down to 90. Nope. We're going to have to go down all the way to 80. And we'll have to, we may have to put another bridge over here. We'll see. So this is going to take us down to the water level. to the main water plane. Then we'll come back and we'll like smooth the sides and stuff out in a minute. So now, where do I want to take this? I want to leave room here for a clay pit. Let's do this. Let's just curve it so it just comes over this way. And that's going to still give me room to put my clay pit in. So actually, let's take this down. And we'll smooth this out. We'll bring this mountain all the way down in. Just get the light color in there for now. We'll come back and put the darker color highlights in. It's a little bit too flat. Hold on. Let's get a couple more. Alright, something like that. Now this side, bring you over, and we'll just come out like that. Smooth this back. Let's go to subtract a second. Let's get rid of all the grass now that's here in the water. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. Let me back out 2 notches. Because I was on the wrong one. Okay, now we can subtract the grass. That's here in the water. Underpainting the water and getting rid of all the grass is definitely a project for another day. But for now, let's just bring this around. Like so. Alright, I feel like we gotta come back just a little bit more. Alright, let's do a quick save. So I like saving about every 10 or 15 minutes. I went way too long with that save. All right, so now let's blend in our color. Then we got to bring in our particle systems to actually make the waterfall work. So let's go Cliff Rock Dark. Let's go 35. And let's just get some more highlights in here. We'll blend this side in. Blend that side in. No, it looks like we weren't even here. Alright, now we have to come back over to here. So I got to find where the transform group is. So I can't copy these. These have to be exported and imported. So I should have, where is my, there we go. I want this whole transform group, because these are our particle systems to make the waterfall work. So let's go File, Export Selection with Files. Let's go PARTICLE. YSTEMS2. Alright, so it's exported from the map. So let's come back over here. Now, before I import it in, I want to come out here and I want to go to New Buildings. I want to go to Particle Systems 2, and I just want to, no, oh, that's fine. It can, that pathing is fine. That can work. It's the same pathing as the other one, so that'll actually work. So now let's go. Where do I want to put it? Let's put it up here. So let's go File, Import, Particle Systems 2. Let's go Edit, Cut, Places, Edit, Paste. Now it's probably way the heck over here. It is, which is fine. So now let's bring you over here. And like I said, some of these we're going to probably have to pick apart and remove and readjust. But this gets me all the parts and pieces I need. To make the waterfall work. Where's my first one? Right here. I want to work with this very top one. Once I get the top one in place, I'm hoping the rest of them will fall into place. Close. Close. Very close. Alright, so now let's see where our top one falls. Top one should be good. Alright, so this one, oop, hold on. Let me go down on my speed. Alright, so let's take, alright, now let's take this one, let's make it just a little bit longer. And then we'll take this next one, make it a little bit longer. And then same thing. These may be a hair too high, but that's alright. I can adjust the height in a minute. Let's take you. I'll stretch you out a little bit. And then you, let's bring you over and make you a little bit longer. And then same thing with this one. Let's make you a little bit longer. So that should be that layer. Yeah, now this one. So let's twist. Ooh, these are a pain in the butt. Just move a hair. Oh, there we go. I got lucky. So you've got to come over out to the edge. And then there's another one here somewhere. so now you've got to come out a little bit more, back a little bit more. So I can turn you a little. See, you go to move these a hair and they're a pain. Alright, so you can go there. So how do you look? You don't look too bad. Now, how far are you? So, okay, this one I know has to come down because the water's a lot deeper. And it can go bigger. Now, how tall, how much are the rest of these off by? Yeah, so you're going to have to come down. You got to come down a little bit. This one down a hair. Now you come down to where you're touching the water. And then this one down a little bit. Oh. Come on. Where are you? Oh, this is the one. This one we're working with? Yeah, this is the one we're working with. You, oh, come on. Give me the, particle systems. I'm going to name this particle systems 2. Come on, give me this plane. Why won't you give me that plane? This guy. No, come on. Give me this guy. There we go. Let's bring you down. So you have to come down a little bit. And then this guy has to come down. And then this last one, a little bit. Alright, so let's go. Let's save this, go in game. See what this looks like in game. So let's save that. So we got 2 new factories released this morning and 2 new factories sent to the Patreons. That they'll be released next weekend. So check the Facebook and the Trello board. Alright. Now we may expand this water over a little bit once we get the clay pit in. We'll see how much room I have. Alright, so now let's head in map and see what this looks like in game. We'll see if it's actually going to work or not. Because when importing and exporting these waterfall particles are a pain. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Sometimes you have to export the entire waterfall in and only import one in at a time. And rebuild the entire thing one by one. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's going to work. Sassy155, good morning. Yep, saw that email this morning. Thanks for continuing to work on stuff like that. Yeah, it's just going to make single player a lot more fun. And definitely multiplayer because, you know, everybody, you got 4 people playing on a map. Everybody can have their own, you know, mammoth mill, glue factory, drywall factory, and all that jazz. All right, let's get rid of the map because it's useless. Let's just lease a truck. we can't save this anyway, so let's lease a truck. Let's go for a ride. Let's go down the mountain and then we'll drive over towards the waterfall and see what it looks like from the ground level. But once we get the rest of the global company functions in and working, the rest of the build is just going to be really quick. Because after we get all the global company functions in and working, then it's just forests and fields. And then the railroad silos and somehow the waterfall is working. I'm not going to go over this bridge. I want to go over the other bridge. So let's just go cross country a second. So I want to go over this bridge and approach it coming more straight in. Now that gives me an idea to put another road in. Oh, now we're in trouble. I want to come off of here. See, now I want to come off of here with a 45-degree angle. And I want to go this way, straight across and hook up with that road. We may do that. We may throw another road in. The more time I spend driving around with the map, the more things I see. So now let's come around here. Yeah, this is the angle I wanted to come in at to see what this waterfall looks like. We may build one more of these on the other end of the map yet. Alright, the mountain needs a little bit more work. But that's easy. I'm going to yeah, I know what I want to do. There's a couple things I want to do. I want to get the clay pit in here first, and we're going to move this land a little bit. I want to knock off this whole corner so the water comes out to about here, straight back to the edge of the waterfall. So we're going to take a little bit more land away. And then I got to bring that bottom stone down because it's not touching the ground. All right. But that's looking pretty much like I wanted it to. Will there be placeable oil well to go with the refinery? I do not have one planned. Because even this map, I'm going to build the oil wells in. So no, I do not plan on doing any placeable oil wells. But I could be persuaded otherwise. Yeah, that's looking... I'm not going to go up to the top of the mountain because we haven't done any work to the top of the mountain yet. But we're getting there. Calderson93, good morning. Thank you for stopping in and saying hello. Yeah, so far no plans on a placeable oil well, but that could change. Because the Hollow map has two of them built in, the Ritchieville map has two of them built in, and the Islands map has two of them built in. So I wasn't planning on making any placeable ones. Alright, so this rock is not coming all the way down to the ground, so it's got to go, they both have to go a little bit, there we go, deeper, so they go into the water. So you and you, so now I think they're in the water. Are they in the water? Yeah, so now they're touching the water. Alright, so that's that part fixed. Now I want to come over here. Let's go up on my strength. I want to take this. There's a little dip in the mountain. I want to take this and bring it out a little bit more. Now let's take it down into here. A little bit more like that. Yeah, so that looks a little bit better there. I'm going to go back to 0. And then on this side, I want to do the same thing. There's a little bit of a dip in the mountain. I want to just get that out. So let's just bring this up a little bit. Something like that. And again, we'll just get the texture close and we'll fix it when we build the bottom. Now I do want to take out, I'm going to have plenty of room for the clay pit. So let me come over here. I want to get rid of, so let's come over here. I want to cut this back. Am I on, oh, on subtract, hold on. Let me go to replace. I want to cut this corner back. Something like this. Yeah, that's going to work out much better. Now let's work on, that's going to finish the waterfall. So let me do another quick save. But placeable oil wells are really easy to build. I could build one in like a half an hour, but it won't take long. But I just wasn't sure if I was going to make any placeable ones or not. Alright, so we're going to use this little space here between the road and the water. And we are going to build ourselves a clay pit. And I just got to figure out which way I want to orientate it. So first thing I want to do though is let's go back to subtract. Let's get rid of all of this grass for now. We can put back what we want later. So let's get rid of the grass. And then let's get rid of this little hump that's left in here. I think it's 105.148, I think, is my lowest level. Yep. Alright, so let's get rid of that. Let's take care of that. And then before I go any further, before we start coming in here and working with the clay pit, I want to go, let's go back to square. Let's go to gravel. I want to get the rest of this road underpainted just to the corner, because we'll be doing a lot of textures, changes and fences and all kind of stuff over here. So I just want to get this done so it's off my, I don't have to worry about it later, just in this little section. This is something I'll do the entire map one night when I can't sleep. All the roads have to be underpainted. But you guys don't need to see that on camera. I'll just get it out to like the corner. Come on. Just back to the bridge. That takes care of the side of the road we're working on. Alright, so now let's go, come over here. Let me close all the stuff that we don't need open. Alright, so let's go create transform group. We're going to call it clay pit. No, I should have changed this other one first. We'll come back to that one in a second. So global company, transform group, duplicate it. Let's call this one clay pit. This one has to go inside of this one, and then this one has to go where we're working. So I'm going to put it like right in the center of where we're working. And then inside of that one, let me duplicate a couple of these. First one's going to be in for our input triggers. Second one is going to be out for our output triggers. Third one for now is going to be our main transform group, where we're going to put all of our buildings in, and it will just make more as we go. So let's go file, import. I put two things in the map that I want to start with. So let's go edit. Hold on. First thing I want to do is I just want to put it here. Alright, so these are all my triggers. Let's go edit, cut, clay pit, edit, paste. I'm going to move that up one. I'm going to call it clay pit triggers. Alright, clay pit triggers. Now I got to get it back over here. Alright, so I'm just going to slide this out of the way for a second. Let's go File, Import this one. And I want to go Edit, Cut, and Paste. And then let's get this up like so. And I'm going to take this back to full size. Oh, really? What were they? Oh, 8. So let's go to 10. I was going to say. So just to get it a little bit bigger to scale. Now I want to pull this up. Alright, something like that. Now let's get this guy spun around this way and to the edge of the water. Alright. Alright, that will work. Now let's get our triggers. And let's pull these guys back. And spun this way. Because what I want to do is we're going to drop off diesel. And our diesel is going to spawn our clay. And then we're going to have to come over and scoop up our clay. So we're going to sink this, we're going to put a water plane in, we're going to sink this down a little bit. So the clay's just barely in the water a little bit. But what I want to do, I think I want to get rid of, how do I want to tie this in? Alright, so let's bring this back. How do I want it? Let me try and get this positioned where I want it. Alright, so let's take this one. And we'll get it spun. It would make single player on a map this size a bit easier. You're the master, you decide. I suppose we can do, my arm has been twisted. I suppose we can do some placeable oil wells. Yeah, it'll definitely make single player a little bit easier. Alright, so that one's tied in. So let's take this one. Let's turn you that way. Let's come over this way. Go like that. And now we could take this one. Let's get it the same height as that one. Now we can just come off of here and come over this way. I can live with that. Alright, so that's part of it done. So let's grab a water plane. Come over here. Not sure if this is the shape I want. I may delete this one and put a different one in, but let's get it. Now this will work. So let's get it here for now. Yeah, this will work. Let's just get it so we're at, what height are we? Let's go down to 105. Now let's go down to 104.5 for now. And then let's go to 104.8. I don't want this to be too low. So let's go to round. Alright, so let's go to 104.5. Yeah, and then we'll adjust the water. I want you to drive in, but I don't want you to drive in really deep. So let's get our pit in where I want to highlight this. Hold on. Yeah, I want to highlight this so I know exactly where my clay is going to spawn. So let's get the ground sunk down. So you have to drive in, but it's just a really gentle slope coming in. Alright, something like that. Now we can take our water plane and we can bring our water plane up like so, but now it's going to have to get adjusted because now it's definitely too small. So let's make it wider. I just don't want it under the road. Alright, so how does that look at this level? Alright. Oh, there we go. Alright, that'll work. Now I have a new clay texture that I built into the map. So let's just get a little bit of clay through here for now. And then we'll see if it's too much when we get in game. Because what I may want to do is, yeah, that's going to be too much. All right, hold on. So let's go to animal. Let's go to our pig mud, and then let me zoom out a little bit. So let's put some mud. So when you're picking up your clay, it's not all blended in. Yeah, that may work. So let's grab a little bit more clay and we'll figure out exactly where we want to transition our textures. So let's get a little bit more clay just around here for now. Alright, so that will work. I don't want a lot of this clay texture, so that will actually work. Now let's grab, alright, so let's close you a minute, because we don't need you open. Let's come back down here. Alright, where do I have a gas tank? So let's go to the nickel mine, I want to grab a gas tank. So I'm going to duplicate this. So let's go edit, cut, main, edit, paste. So this is where we'll drop off our diesel. Somewhere over here. And then let's come back up here to the nickel mine. Let's grab a warning stripe. So let me duplicate that. So let's get this guy sort of where we want it. And then we'll it's still not the right angle. Hold on. Let's get you turned this way. Right, that'll work. Now we can stretch this guy out a little bit. And then we'll just make sure that it's not too tall. Make sure it's just sitting right on the ground. Yep. It's just right on. And it's just sitting right on the ground. Alright, now let's come back to the nickel mine. Let's grab an exact fill route. So let's duplicate that. So let's go edit, cut, in, edit, paste. So now let's bring our trigger in so we can drop off our diesel. And I don't mind it being a little bit bigger, so we're going to leave it right like that. So that's going to bring our diesel in. Our clay is going to spawn like silt, so we'll have to scoop it up. Clay we're going to use as a building material. We're going to have some new building materials to build with. But the first thing we need is raw clay. So that's going to be our in. These are going to be all of our triggers to pick up our clay. Now, these may be just a hair too high now. So, what I want to do is I may have to, yeah, we're going to have to drop these down just a hair. So let me go, so these are just touching the ground. I want to bring the triggers down, yeah, right like that. And then we're going to have to bring the, let's bring, I'm not going to bring those up any higher. I want to bring these guys back up just a hair. So you're going to come back up a hair. You are. And then you are. That should be fine. We are going to need, so let's go back to, yeah, let's do gravel. We are going to need a gravel road. coming in so we can drop off our diesel. Oh, stop. Alright, so we're going to take this out. Oh, I hate when it does that. So let's take you out. Oh, come on. Alright, I'll make you smaller. Let's take you out to the road. So come in, we'll drop off our diesel. We'll be able to come in and pick up our clay from the pit. Alright, so we have, alright, next on the list is I want to try something. Are you a separate piece? You're not. That's fine. Let me do this. Let me grab one of these. I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to go edit, cut, main, edit, paste. Let's throw you here for now. But I want to make you smaller. So let's get you where I want you. So I want to bring this land back a little bit. But I want this wall to be my border. You'll see why here in a second. So let's bring you so you're just even with the surface, about there. And I can take you in a little bit more. There we go. Now I can go back to replace, back to 80. So let's push this back a little bit. Oop, not so much. Alright, hold on. I gotta zoom in a little bit closer. So I only want to take a little bit away so it's uncovering the rock a little bit. Something like that. Alright, that'll work. Crap, I didn't write my height down. That's all right, I can get it. Let's go here a minute. 104.5. Let's leave it there a second. So I want to bring, if I can, yeah, I'm going to have to play with this water plane. I want to bring the water back this way a little bit. So it's running back out. So let's go back to pig mud. And let's bring that back. Yeah, like so. And smooth out the edges. and then we'll come back in and fix our textures here in a second. I just want to get, yeah, so now you're going to have to go, let's try it like this. Yeah, no, you're going to, it can't stick out. Let's go this way. And then let's go, you know what I want to do? I want to grab, let me think. I'm going to delete this plane. Let's go to, I want to go to here. I want to grab this one. We duplicate that one. And let me come back down here. Let's go edit interactive placement. Now let's make you smaller. Let's go 0.01. Let's go 0.005. So let's go 0.00. We're getting there. 4. 5, 7, and now let's take you down to 0.007. All right, now we're getting there. Now let's take you down. But I gotta bring you in so you're not sticking over the edge. So we may have to make this a little bit smaller. Let me get it down to where I want it. Yeah, about there. So now it can't be sticking out. So let me pull it back. Alright, so now let's take this guy. We'll make him a little bit thicker so he's back. There we go, like that. Alright, how does, oh, let me click off. Alright, so how does that look? That's looking better. So now I want to take, let's go File, Import. I want to import the waterfall particles again. Oh, and you're going to be like all messed up, but that's all right. I only want 2 pieces. I want a creek emitter. So I'm going to go Edit, Cut, Main, Edit, Paste, and I want a vapor. So let's go Edit, Cut, Main, Edit, Paste, and let's get rid of that whole mess. So now we just have the emitter. And perfect. So now we can get it scaled down. So we've got some, and then I'm going to drop this rock a little bit more. And then we'll fix the land a little bit. Oh, I can't bring it down. I can, what I can do is I can angle it down a little bit. something like that. I can work with that. So let's take this guy, bring him here, and we'll take the vapor, and it's going to go here. Make sure it's just touching the water. About here. Alright, now I want to go back to 80, and let's cut this land back a little bit. So technically we should have a little bit of water spilling back over and coming back into the lake. Alright, so that is that part done. Let's do this. Let's go back to our clay. Let's work on our textures a little bit. So let's take our clay back to the edge of the water. And then let's come in a little bit closer to where our mud is. All right, that'll work for now. All right, next up, let's get some lighting in here. So I'm going to duplicate this transform group one more time. So we'll call this lighting. It needs a user attribute. So I'm going to come over here. I want to grab this command, script callback. Nope, script callback. Or is it on create? No, it's on create. Let me grab that. Let's come over here. We'll go script callback, on create, and then I need this command here, so the lights only come on at night. They don't come on during the day. So now let's come back up to our mine. Let's go to, oh, that doesn't have the lighting in that I need, does it? I may have to import. That only has the beacons. Where are my lights? Bear with me a second until I find my lights. I may have to go over there and grab a light. We may have to fly across the map a second. Now, let's go to, hold on really quick. Let me go to, Jim should have some lights. Alright, we're going to have to do this the hard way. Easy way ain't working. Alright, let me grab some speed. Let's fly across the map so I can grab a light. I should have some. Did I not put any extra lights in Jim's? Wow, okay, I forgot lighting at the car dealership, so we're gonna have to come back here and throw some more lighting in. Alright, let's go to the mine then. Let's grab a light over there. Told you we're gonna have to do this the hard way. Alright, let's come over here. I need this light right there. Duplicate that. And let's come back down to our clay pit. So let's go edit, cut, lighting, edit, paste. So there's the light I need. So now we can fly back over here. And then after we get the clay pit in and running and completely decorated and looking the way I want it to look, we're going to start working on the crushers. So let's go edit, interactive placement, bam. So let's get our lighting in here. So you can see to drop off your diesel. And we'll throw a few more in, just so we have a little bit of light at night. Alright, so there. And that should be enough lighting there. Now let's get some lighting out here so we can see to pick up our clay if you're working at night. So edit, bam. Let's get one here. Let's bring another one over here. And then let's grab a third one and drop it over this way. Alright, so that is that. I may have to take these waterfall particles and put them in a different transform group outside of the factory, because I don't know if they're going to work being in the factory transform group, but we'll see. We can fix that. I can fix that after the fact. So that should be our lighting. So our lighting is done. I'm going to need a camera for this factory because unfortunately every global company factory has to have a camera. So let's come up here. Let's grab the camera. We'll duplicate that. We'll come back down. Edit, cut, clay pit, edit, paste. And let's just go 0, 0. That one has to stay. Now let's bring it up and back. This is the camera when you go into your Control G menu to look at your factory. So unfortunately everyone has to have one. Alright, so there's our camera. So that's done. Let's grab our, let's come over here. Where do I want to put it? Let's put it here. So let's grab our tour icon. So edit interactive placement. Bam, right about here. Oh, let's call it clay pit. I think that's what we're naming this factory, right? Yep, clay pit. Alright, so let's call it clay pit. Let's go to map SA. Doesn't matter which one I grab. Let's go here. So you are going to be clay pit. You're going to be clay pit. Let's grab our X and our Z. And our Z. Alright, so there's our hotspot done. Now we're going to need a player trigger for this factory. Let's go back up to the nickel mine. Let's grab the player trigger. So let me duplicate that. Edit, cut, edit, paste. Alright, so here's our global company pop-up window. So here is our player trigger. Alright, so in is done. We don't have an out because we're using spawner triggers, but that's alright. Main transform group is done. Here's all of our triggers. Our lighting is done. Our camera is done. Our player trigger is done. Before we landscape this and fence it in and tree it and make it all look good and get the grass and everything else in, let's get this functioning. And then once it's functioning, we can come back in and make it look pretty. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is it's going to need its own farmland. So let's create a new farmland for the clay pit, and we're going to use farmland number 8. So let's call this clay pit. Let's turn it on so it's active, and it's going to be farmland number 8, but it's going to be bit number 3. So let's come down here to farmland, and it's going to be bit. Well, sometimes it doesn't work the first time. I got to click on seasons and I got to click back on farmland. There we go. So now we need bit number 3, which is farmland number 8. And we're going to take this farmland and we're going to take it to the mountain, and we're going to cross the road a little bit, and then we'll fix it when I'll cut it back to the road when we work on the next piece of property across the street. So this will be the farmland when we buy our clay pit. I'm not going to make this buildable because you're going to need to build other factories and stuff with. So that is our farmland done. I'm going to do a quick save. Now we're going to work on the XML to get this working. Holy cow, it's 10:45 already. See, time flies when you're having fun. Alright, while we're waiting for that to save, alright, good. Let's go to our 110 and I can actually copy this because we only have one input and one output. So let me copy this. Let's come down here. We're going to change open mine to clay pit. I hate when they do that. Let's come back up here. So let's come back up here. Search, replace, clay pit. There we go. Now, you are function, you are a clay pit. Our production line is clay. Our description is going to be a clay pit. We're going to put in our raw materials. We're going to put in diesel. We are going to output. Now I can't remember if I named it clay or raw clay. Let me go to my fill type XML real quick. And I'm going to go control find. And we just named it clay, not raw clay. Alright, that works. So our output's going to be clay. So that is our 110. Done. Let's go to Ritchie Valley Placeables Global Company. I'm going to take open mine. I'm going to copy it. We're going to rename it clay pit. No, we're not. We're going to delete this. We're going to go to here, Placeables Global Company. I want silt mine. This guy. I want to look at him a second. I want to see if it has. It does. Well, I'm going to grab this guy and we're going to edit this. It's going to be much easier. So let's grab this guy. Let's copy him over to here. We're going to rename him clay. Oh, hang on. Clay pit. Now we're going to change all of silt mine to clay pit. Alright, now we're going to work our way down. There's no pallet trigger, so we can get rid of that. We're only inputting diesel, so that's our first step. I want our delay to go down. I don't want a 10-minute delay. We have no trigger 2, so that can get deleted. So there's our input for our diesel. We are going to input. We're going to input diesel, and we only need 50,000 liters. We're going to input diesel. There is no visibility node. Alright, so that's simple. Our inputs are done. Outputs. How many triggers do we have on our output? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 outputs built into the one factory. So I need 8. I can get rid of 9 and 10. So 9 can go. 10 can go. It's not going to make sewage. and it's not going to make dead cells. I only want it to make clay, so now we have to rename these. I'm going to do all the capitals first. Clay, and we'll just work our way down. And 8, because we have 8 triggers. Now let's come back up here, and we got to go change all of silt, and we'll go clay, all lowercase. I'm hoping, yeah. So U, and U. All right. Now let's come back up here. So we have our output's going to be clay, our fill type's going to be clay. So all of those are done. Now we only have I only have 10 slots to work. So we have no sewage. So I can get rid of these. We only have 8. But we're going to input diesel. Alright, we have no particle effect, so these can... Ooh, hold on, I'm going to leave that for a minute. Let me get rid of this. That can go. That can go. I need this player trigger. Let me copy this, bring it up here, and then this can go. So now we should only have one product line we do. We're going to make 20,000 liters an hour is fine. So we're going to input our diesel. We're going to get, now these have to go, these have to be changed to clay, but they have to be capital. All right, that works. So that brings us down to there. So we have no pallet trigger. That can get deleted. We need all of these heaps, but we only have 8. So I can get rid of 9 and 10. We have no smoke 2. And then we have no other pallet triggers, so that can go. Trigger 2 can go because we're not picking up sewage. I think that's all we have to map in the way of i3ds. I think. Let me just come up to the top. Make sure I didn't miss anything. We're going to input our diesel. We're going to output all of our clay on the ground. So we're going to input diesel. We're going to put out 8 piles of clay. I think we're getting close. So now let's come up here. So you are 0 and 0. Our camera is number 6. I want to get our player trigger in before I forget, and that's going to be number 7. We'll come back to, alright, so our first heap trigger, so let's come back up to the top. So our first trigger is 3 and 5. Yeah, so you are 3 and 5. Our second one is 3 and 7. And then it's going to be 3 and 9. And then 3 and 10. And let me just take my time and do them right. 3 and 11. So you are 3 and 11. And then this one is going to be 3 and 13. So 3 and 13. 3 and 19. 3 and 21. And you are 3 and 23. Now we have all the other ones to fix. So you're going to be 3, 4, and 0. So where's our start? So you are 3, 4, and 0. 3, 3, 4, and 1. And then you should be 3, 4, and 2. Alright, so that's the first one. Second one is going to be start. Yeah, so you are 3 and 6. 3 and 6. 3 and 6. So that's our start width and height. Yeah, so this is our start width and height. Yep, 3 and 6. So our next set is going to be start right here. So this is going to be 3 and 8. 3 and 8. 3 and 8. So that's that set done. Our next set is going to be 3 and 10. So 3 and 10. 3 and 10. 3 and 10. So that's our next set of triggers. 3 and 12. So our start. So you are 3 and 12. 3 and 12. 3 and 12. So that's up to 5 done. Now, 3 and 18. 3 and 18. 3 and 18. You should be 3, 18, and 2. You are. So our next set is going to be 3 and 20. 3 and 20. And then our last set is going to be 3 and 22. Three and 22. 3 and 22. So this should be all of our i3D mapping done. First thing I want to do is I want to come back up to the top. I want to go Control Find, and I'll make sure I didn't leave any words that say silt left in the factory, which we didn't. So we converted everything from silt to clay. So our factory XML looks good. Our 110 looks good. So now we have to put in our user attributes to make the factory work. So first one up is a string. Second one up is going to be a script callback. Third one up is going to be a string. And then our last one is going to be a float. Now, what farmland did we make this? Because I can't remember. We made this farmland number 8. So you are 8. You are a clay pit. I'm going to grab this command and I'm going to put it here. And then we're going to come back up here. We're going to grab this command. We are going to put it here, but we are going to rename it clay pit because that's the XML it's going to work off of. Now, again, we're going to make this all pretty later. I just want to see if it's going to work. Let's save this. After this saves, we're going to jump in game and see if this thing actually functions. Now we make it pretty. And then we may even actually, no, we'll get this decorated before lunch, and then I'll take a lunch break, and then after lunch we'll start the crushers. It's already 11:05. Alright, let's jump in game first and see if we have any errors, and if we don't have any errors, then we'll see if this thing works. So come back down here, start a new save game. Alright, let's jump in here. Again, ignore the map, but somewhere over here now we should have, we have a clay pit. Which we do. So let's go over to lands. Oh, hold on, we gotta throw some money in here first. So let's come up here, let's throw some money in. Let me grab some speed. Alright, now let's see how much this piece of property costs to buy the clay pit. 268,000. I might raise that up a little bit more, I'm not sure yet. So let's buy that. And then let's teleport over here. So we're going to input our diesel, we're going to get our clay. First thing I want to do before we start testing this, I'm going to jump out And I don't like the in-game one. I like to come out here. Let's check our log. And I want to make sure that this factory's not throwing any errors before we spend time testing it. And it's actually pretty good. I got one error to fix with just a HUD, but alright, so far clay pit's not throwing any errors, so that's our first good sign. Now again, it's not going to look good because we haven't done any textures or foliage or anything yet. So let's grab store delivery mod. Let's grab a truck with some diesel. So let's grab this guy. We're not going to save this game anyway, so let's grab this guy. And then let's jump in here. And let's throw some tank of diesel in here. And let's fire this up. So what I may do is I may bring this road around here a little bit and then make a U-turn. Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll come back in like this. So we'll add to that road a little bit when we go back in game, or back into the editor. Now this should have went active, and it did, and it's already making clay. And how's our clay looking? Our clay is looking awesome. Now I don't have the snowblower fixed for the new fill type, so we can't use the bunker, the freezy bunker yet. So let's just grab, I'm just going to grab a wheel loader. It doesn't matter. Let's grab this guy. I just want to make sure I can scoop up the clay. Oh, hang on, not telehandlers. I want a, what did we buy? We bought a wheel loader. I gotta fix the the freezy, the snowblower, so we can, I have to add the new fill type clay to it, because it won't work on the clay until we edit it. But let's see if we can make sure we can scoop up our clay. We should be able to scoop it up, and then we should be able to dump it back on the ground anywhere on the map. Oh, too far. Are we not? Oh, we are loading some in here. All right, perfect. So we can scoop it up. Let's get a full bucket. So we should, and then we should be able to dump it anywhere on the map. Nice, so our clay is working. We're going to use the clay to make building products out of. Alright, so there's our clay. So everything here is working like it should. Let's see if our trigger, I don't know which one I took it off of, but it must have been the one near the bottom where it's back to 19,000 liters. Alright, so anyway, I won't know if this is working 100% until we get the snowblower edited and we suck it all off. But there is our clay pit. Let's get all the decorations and landscaping and everything else done. Make sure we have no errors in the log. And that's going to probably take me till lunchtime. Let me just check something really quick. Got a couple viewers hanging out. All right. Before we decorate this, I'm going to check the log one more time just to make sure the clay pit's not throwing any errors. Nope, the only one is the HUD I have to fix. Alright, so the clay pit's not throwing any errors. So now what we're going to do is let's grab, how do we want to start? Do I want to fence this in or do I not want to fence this in? Don't know yet. So we'll decide that in a second. So let's get off of here so it's not all highlighted in green and in our face. Let me just close some of the stuff we don't need open. I don't need the ore mine open. Alright, that'll work. So let's create a transform group. So let's go edit, cut, clay pit, edit, paste. And we're going to call this one trees. And I think we are going to fence this in. Let's go control, let's duplicate that. We'll call this one fence. So let's make our road circle back around first, and then we'll figure out what fencing I want to put in. So let's go back to gravel. Oop, wrong one. Let's bring this back to about where we were. All right, so we're going to bring in our diesel. We're going to swing back around. And then we're going to circle back in and come back out. So that gives us a loop. That'll work. I can live with that. So now let's get our, let me grab Cliff Rock Dark. Let's get our cliff taken care of. Let's get our water taken care of, or our mountain taken care of, whatever you want to call it. Coming back out to the bridge. Because the clay pit owns this whole piece of property. So we'll might as well texture it all the way out to the bridge and get that part done. Alright, so that gets that done. I'm not going to put a fence along the water. If you want to fall in the water, that's your fault. But I think I want to get a fence along the road, so there's one entrance in and one entrance out. So what fence? Let me fly up to my staging area at the top of the mountain. And let's grab, which fence do we want to use? I almost want to use the red brick because it's a clay pit. Let's do that. Let's grab a post. So I'm going to duplicate that. Let's come back down to our factory. Oh, let's go up to our factory. So let's go, hang on, so our clay pit, I don't need any of that open, I don't need any of that open. So let's go edit, cut, fence, and paste. Alright, that works. Let's grab a long section. So let's duplicate that. So let's go edit, cut, fence, paste. Now let's grab a short section just in case we need it. So let's duplicate that. And then let's go edit, cut, and paste. All right, let's see what that looks like. So for now, I'm going to just drop these three pieces. So edit, let's drop you over here by the road, and I'm going to scale these up a little bit. Let me just get them over here for now. Yeah, they're going to be way too small, I think. Yeah, oh yeah, so this is good size. Let me just, yeah, we're definitely going to scale these up. So let's go, let's drag you over here a minute. So I can see what just the scale looks like. Yeah, we're going to go, let's go. Sorry, excuse me. Take these up to 2 on the height. So let's take that one up to 2 on the height. Let's take that one up to 2 on the height. Let's take this one up to 2 on the height. But I want to go 1.5. Let's just take a 2 all the way around. So there's our post. So let's start about here. Leave some room along the road for some grass. And then let's grab this guy. Go down on my speed. So let's get you centered. Like so. And make sure it's, there we go. Like that. So now it's just a this one. I should have built these in a transform group, so all I had to do was copy and that's right, I know what I could do. Let's just get a couple more of these in here. I know what I could do. We could duplicate this without a problem. Get it to the mountain. Actually, let me do this. Let's grab this short, where's this short guy? Let's grab him. Let's go. Let me go edit, cut, and paste. Let me take him out of the transform group. So all we have now is the fence. And I should have moved my transform group, but that's alright. I can work with this. It just makes it a little bit tougher, but I can work with it. Next time I'll move my transform group. Alright, you're close to where I want you. So let's take this last post. We'll bring you back to here. And we could do this even. So let's before I do that, let's grab this. Let's grab this guy. Let's turn him this way, and we'll come back just a little bit, and it will take this post. We will turn him, and we'll bring him back. And that takes us back towards the mountain. And now we'll just do maybe one more section. And now we can bring our mountain out just a little bit to the fence. Now come down here, and let's grab this section, and we'll slide it down on this side, and we'll come back and we'll put one more post on that one after I duplicate it one more time. So let's grab this guy, slide it down here. And then we'll take this guy and we'll put one here. And then we can come back down here. Since we're not building this, we could do the fence this way. You'll have enough factories and stuff to build. You'll be sick of building. But we'll need clay to build other factories with. Duplicate it, and we may have to move, yeah, we'll have to move a couple of these. So let's take this guy, we'll swing him out away from the bridge a little bit. And then we'll take this guy and just put him there. Then this guy we don't need. That guy we don't need. So let's end our fence there. This guy we're not going to need, so he can go. Now let's clean up. Let's go to grass. So let's clean up our edge where our mountain ends and our grass begins. Bring this guy back. I actually want to take this guy and just make him undo that a second. Let me zoom out here a little bit. I want to take this guy. I want to go down on my strength though. And I want to take this mountain. I want to bring it out a little bit more. Now we can throw a little bit of, what color are we on? We're on grass. Let's go to a little bit of cliff rock, dark. And let's just throw in a little bit of dark, just to blend that back of some. Right, now we can take our grass. We can bring the rest of our grass in, back to the water. Alright, now that should be good. So now let's get our grass in and we'll put some trees in. May put like another building here, maybe with an office and a parking lot. Like another light pole or something. But let's come up to this end. So now let's get our grass in. I'm going to leave it, we're round works. So I'm just going to leave it square, but round works. Get a grass close to the road without it getting on the road. So let me go to subtract. So I can take some off if I overpaint it. So let's take this down. And then we'll come along here. If I decide to put another like building, office building and such, and we can always take some of the grass back out. Keeping it off the road is the pain though. Alright, so that'll work. So let's come back this way. We'll fill in the center once I get the edges in. I can sit here and do this all day long. When I actually sit and play, I'm bored in half an hour. But I can sit here for 20 hours straight and do this. Alright, let's take our grass. And we're going to come in and put some weeds and stuff in too, so let's get our grass in here first. Let's get some grass in here. All right, and then come back around, back to our fence. time is it? 11:30. Probably go for about another 10 or 15 minutes. And then I've got to get out of here for lunch. And then if we don't finish just before lunch, we'll finish landscaping this after lunch. And then we'll move on to the crushers. Alright, so now let's work. Do I want... Yeah, that's fine. It gives us a little bit of room. Actually, let's do this. Let's go back to clay for a second. So let's bring... So if you're in here, you're scooping up your clay. Let's bring it out this way a little bit more. So you can come back out to the road. Well, something like that. So let's go back to... Am I still on grass? I'm still on grass. Let's come back to our grass. And then fill this in a second. I want to get the road cut in first. And that's why I get the road cut in, and then we can come back and fix the inside. So just get this out to the edge of the road. Take a quick peek at chat. All right, chat's been pretty quiet. I'm boring y'all to sleep. Let's take our grass down to the bridge. Along the road. See, and then we almost have another little section of the map done. Off the road. Come on, keep it off the road. And then back to the bridge. Chef. Oh, Chef is still hanging in. Nope, not boring. Just working while watching nice. Farm chick not sleeping, or yep, we are. See, we've got a few hanging out with me. Alright, so let's bring our grass along the bridge to the edge of the water. And let's get this filled in. And then after I get the grass in, before we put trees in, I'm going to give it a quick save. But I'm actually glad I took the time and put this second waterfall in, because I think it's going to make it look a lot better. And I may even put one more waterfall in on the other side of the map. It really didn't take that long. It went in easier and quicker than I was expecting it to, actually. Bring grass here. go along the border and then we'll fill it back in. So come along here. All right, that'll work. And then let's grab this guy, we'll come along here, fill the rest of this in. So if you want to come in here and put some more placeables down, you'll have a nice big area here. You'll have to cut some trees down, but you'll have a nice big area here to put a factory down. Alright, let's do, before I do a quick save, let's go to forest grass. I like to line that transition between mountain and grass with another layer. It just adds more, it adds that extra layer of eye candy to the map. So let's get this in here. And it's a nice clean transition between the grass and the mountain. Let's do a save. Oh, sassy one's not bored either. Fixing lunch. You hungry? What are you making for lunch? I have no idea. I think I want to make a breakfast sandwich for lunch. I think I'm going to do sausage, egg, and cheese on a everything bagel. I think that's what my lunch is going to be today. Alright, so that is going to be our fencing for this factory. I want to go to, let's come up here to the open mine. I want to grab one of the volume trees, so I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to go edit, cut, trees, edit, paste. And let's get one of those here for now. And then I want to go with the big spruce tree number 5. So let me duplicate one of those. And then let's get it up here in our transform group. So edit, cut, trees, edit, paste. Alright, so there's my 2 trees I want to use. And I may throw a couple birch trees in along the road. But let's grab this volume tree first. I like it. It's nice and big and it really looks good. And if you're playing with seasons, which I don't play with seasons, it really does look good in seasons. So let's get a few of these in here first. I'll space these out a little bit, coming down to back to the water. One about here, and yeah, and then maybe one down close to the edge of the bridge. So let's get one. Let's bring it back a little bit, and let's just fill this area in right there. Perfect. And I want to take this guy. I'm going to slide him down a little bit more. All right, so that's that in. So let's grab our spruce. Crap, what is it? Control. B? It is. It's been so long I don't remember. So let's get some of these in along the water's edge. And I'm just going to throw a couple random ones in here and there. So if you want to use this space, you're going to have to cut some trees down if you want to put some placeables in. So let me zoom back out a little bit more. So let me go Control B. Let's get a hold of this guy again. Let's put one in the circle. And let's put a couple along the mountain. Like so. And then let's grab, I do want to grab a birch. I want to put some of the birch trees in as well. So let's grab this guy, duplicate him. Let's come back up here to my trees. Let's go edit, cut, trees, edit, paste, and then edit, interactive placement, bam. Let's just I want to get a couple of these in along the road between my big tree. So Control B. So let's throw one here. Let's throw one here. Let's get a couple in here. Let's throw one between these guys. One between these guys, but I want to grab one more of these. And let's throw this guy about here. All right. Sorry, this space right there looked empty. All right, one more. So how is that going to look? Only one way to find out. Let's do a save. We'll jump back in game. And I think we're going to call the clay pit done. So we'll come back in and we'll just drive around, see how it looks and feels in game. And then I'm going to get out of here for lunch. Come back in about 45 minutes to an hour, and we'll start the crusher. That's going to be I probably won't get the crusher done today. It's going to be a very long process to get the crushers in. Alright, so let's minimize this. Let's go back in game. Yeah, I honestly expect the crushers to take 2 days to build. Then when the crusher's done, I want to start working on getting the canal finished and getting fishing done. So we're going to get the bait house in, we're going to get the fishing spots in, we'll get the boat in, we'll get fish processing done. So that's next on the list after the crushers. We don't need the map because it's useless. Let's just grab a truck. So let's grab this guy. Let's go for a ride. And we'll see what that clay pit looks like. Here, we'll go across the bridge. And we'll come over and down the mountain. Again, the mountains are just rough. We're going to tweak them as we go. So we're going from center mountain to outer mountain across the valley. Once we get all the landscaping done, you know, the views coming across these bridges are going to be phenomenal. So let's get out here and around. I have the traffic splines visible because I want to change up the cars that are driving around the map. That's a project for another day. That's another all-day project. Swapping out the vehicles that are driving around the map. And I don't want to put the train signals in until we're completely done with adding roads. We're not even close to done being with roads yet. I started messing around with this first railroad silo a little bit. But I haven't put any of the triggers in yet. I just wanted to get a little bit of the, I wanted to get the footprint laid out a little bit. So what I had done is I'm actually going to make it like a little farmhouse. So let's go here first and we'll go down to the clay pit. So the plan is to have a road coming in here, and this is way too wide. I'm going to narrow this down. But somewhere where this pond is, we're going to put like a farmhouse, some sheds and stuff. And then this will be one property with the silo. And then this silo, you'll be able to transfer, let me get a little bit of speed. So we'll be able to drop off here by truck or by train and then pick up by truck or by train. Because the train's coming straight through here as well. And then I'm connecting this silo to the silo at the bottom of the mountain. So I can drop product off at the bottom of the mountain and pick it up at the top of the mountain, or I could drop product off at the top of the mountain and pick it up at the bottom of the mountain. So I'm trying to connect these together so they work as one unit. And then we'll have a farmhouse here, some garages and sheds, but I was just messing around with the footprint on how I wanted to try and connect them together. So I just made another little side road coming out here to drive back down the mountain. How is the scale of the fence? Probably a little bit tall now. Yeah, I'm going to shorten this down just a little bit on the height. And then we'll get some extra lights and stuff in. So we have drop off our fuel, drive back out. It feels good. Do we have the extra water? We do. So the extra water's coming out of, well, I want to get some weeds and stuff under here. Let me walk around this side. So we have our water coming over, spilling over. I'm going to work on that a little bit. And then our water is spilling over down in. All right, I can live with that. What does it look like from down here? I can't see it. We'll have to go across the pond and see what it looks like. It needs a little bit more work. Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of weeds and stuff. I want to get a little bit more lighting in. I want to take that fence and shorten it down just a hair, so it's not as tall. Or I don't know, it's more like it's almost like a privacy fence. I want to bring it down a little bit. But that area, A little bit of lighting, a little bit more textures, a little bit more weeds. So I'm going to call that done. But I want to see what the waterfall looks like from over here. I can't get a good view from it from on that side. So what does it look like from over here? Oh, okay, that looks pretty cool. I can live with that. All right, just a little bit more textures and lighting and a little bit more weeds. Make it look like it's grown in a little bit. Now let's get out of here. Farm Chick, it looks awesome. Thank you. Who's back in? Calderson 93. Oh my God, I just ate a breakfast sandwich for lunch. Great minds think alike. Yes, they do. Thank you for stopping in. All right, let's get out of here. Let me see what time it is. It's 11:55. I'm gonna get out of here. We'll do a couple. I'm gonna shrink that fence down a little bit. We'll put in a little bit lighting, a little bit of weeds. We'll do that after lunch. So I'm going to throw y'all on ending soon. I'm going to save and close and do all that jazz. And we'll do a little bit, we'll work on a little bit more details after lunch. Give me about 45 minutes to an hour and I will be back.